Hey guys, welcome back to Rhino Off-Road, and today, the next installment in the Dacre prep series, and just general maintenance, actually. We're doing the driveline today. That's both universals and the hanger bearing. I've already did the oil and the diffs, no shavings, they're good. But it's a fairly common problem for these hanger bearings to give up. They're under an incredible amount of stress. And a couple companies have made bigger carriers, like Full Access, which is the one I got. This guy here. The bearing is way, way bigger than the stalker. Its bigger bearing is going to take more load. That's just the way things are. So that's going in. The universals each have 4,000 kilometers on them. It's time, because you got to take all this apart anyway. I went with the stock Killa-sakis. Now I know everybody's going to go, oh, why didn't you get greasable? But how many of you actually grease them? Actually, that's a good question. Put it in the comments. Do you actually grease your greasable universals? It's a bit of a chore to get in there. So, you know, the stalkers, I put them through hell. If you're watching the other videos, water, mud, just shock load, you name it, and they held up. Good universals. But I don't know if this is going to be a 1 or 2 part video. After we get the driveline done, we have a Super ATV skid plate to put in to protect all this new stuff under there. We'll see how long this video goes. If it's a long one, I'll make a separate one for that. But that being said, we're going to get at this, get this driveline upgraded, make sure everything's good and strong. We got to make this thing bomb proof. So this is the next step. So as usual, smash that subscribe and let's get after it. Okay, here we go. Now, what we're going to do first is, I only have about 15 inches of clearance there. And I'm going to need some room to maneuver under there. So, I'd like to flip it on its side, but I don't have room. I do have a cherry picker that would flip it, but I will hit the ceiling. So that's out. That's not an idea. So what we're going to do is unload the suspension, which is the next best thing. That will gain us a bunch of space in there. And it's safe. It's not going to fall. It's just unloaded suspension. So let's get that jacked up. Now you see the tires sliding. We're going to go till we're just off the ground, which is right there. Now, we're going to let it down nice and slowly. And there we go. We gained a pile of clearance. It was 15-ish. Now we're a little bit over 20 inches. So that's more acceptable to work on this thing. All right, let's gather up some wrenches. We got to get these skids off under here and see what we're dealing with. Okay, hopefully this tripod I found works, but we got ourselves a Phillips and a 10 mil, and we're gonna crawl under here and set up the tripod, and hopefully it works. All right, guys, I'm not sure how this is gonna work. The camera's flat on its back, but we will see. I'm gonna try to get you the best view I can. So, let's see. This skid's gotta go. That skid's gotta go. This guy is stationary. He doesn't go anywhere. All right, on your side here, you got the Phillips. There and there. If you don't have one of these, I suppose a big old screwdriver. Yeah, you're better to have a socket. But try any way that works. There we go. Now save all these bolts, because I'm not sure, or I'm going to save these bolts because I'm not sure what's needed for the skid plate. So let's get rid of our 10 mil. I'm gonna leave that guy in there a little bit. Just till I get these Phillips out, and he'll hang on to it for me. Let's try that anyway, it might work. We're making some progress here. Switch back to 10 mil. Hang on to the plate. And there we go. And there is our shaft. There's our carrier bearing. Now this guy's got to go. Be right back. I gotta clear this up a little bit. There, the last two there. And I'm gonna move you guys over because I'm gonna have to hang on to that skid plate. One more. Just like that. Perfect. Okay. There is our drive shaft. There's our universals. Think they gotta, no, that's not bad. But they're getting replaced anyway, and this guy's getting replaced. And yeah, we're gonna have to undo some bolts here, so I'm going to go get this guy here. I'm going to go get some wrenches, and this is going pretty good. We'll be back. All right, we're back, guys. Now everything we need to get rid of here is 12 mil. So you're going to need a wrench. You can use 2 sockets, depends where your drive shaft's sitting. But we got 2 12s here. This bearing is a 12 and a 12. And back here is 12 and 12. You'll see it in a bit. Now, since you're laying on the floor, I really hope you can see this. Okay, let's get rid of these guys. There, that's started. Beautiful. Now, these guys holding the bearing on, I can't get the camera in there, but you'll see it if you do this. There is no nut, it's just a bolt. I'll show you in a second. That threads into the bearing casing. And dirt tastes awesome. Now, save these because we need them for the new bearing carrier. They're a bit of a pain to get at, but just keep at it, you'll get it. Get your fingers in there and feel around. I am going to need a longer extension, so I will be back. Okay, we've got a little bit more reach now. That's gonna help. There, she broke loose. And there we go. Second bolt out. Now, I think we're going to try to undo these ones too. Okay, I've tried a few different ways. I'm pretty sure that this, hopefully you can stay there. I'm pretty sure this is the easiest way. The shaft has to come out, but this guy's got to stay here. So, let's try to get, where can you guys go? Right there. No. There, it's coming loose. Very nice. See that? Now it's coming out. Shove, there, just fell out. Nice. Whew. Well, that was a bit of fun. Okay, now, there we go. Oh, that guy's crunchy. Yep, it was time he got replaced. Okay, now, get this guy off. And he's not bad. You can tell it's kind of dry. It's just not moving as fluid as it should. So he gets replaced too. There. So now I know. Take it off here, back at the transmission. That's the easiest spot to get it out. Undo both your yokes, the bearing hanger, and slide everything else forward. You might have to tap that back with a soft plastic or a hard plastic hammer. Educational. Okay, now we got to get the front. Now, guys, this is going to be something else to try to film this, but you have a panel up here in the passenger side, and I've pulled all the clips out with my handy dandy clipper pullers. We'll just get that. This panel comes out, and guess what's inside there? That is the front of your universal. Right down in there. So, what we're going to do is our drive shaft's free now. We're going to slide our drive shaft back, and hopefully we can just slide all this out and bring it out this hatch. Okay, guys, I don't even know if this is going to be possible, but I'm going to try to get you guys in here and my hand at the same time. This may not work. I just slid the drive shaft back. This is, wow, is this tight. There's the drive shaft, it just popped right off this. Now there's a spring in here that I have to grab. Okay, it did just come right out of there. Little bit of wrestling, but yeah, it wasn't awful. So I got the front drive out now. Okay, one more thing, guys. The spring stayed on that shaft, luckily. It's underneath the that rubber boot there. Yeah, it's impossible to film in here, but so the spring is still on that shaft. I can feel it. Our yokes are out. Nothing holds them, just that spring. Actually, I can show you the book, and that's how I knew that shaft would slide ahead. It's right here. That is the drive shaft. That's the rubber we just seen. There's a couple circlips at the back of that shaft and a spring that holds this shaft pushing back towards the back. That's how I knew that would push forward, because a bunch of my old four-wheelers were like that. The prop shaft. Very handy. So, there's the press. I'm going to round things up here and we're going to start pressing out universals. What we want to do now is get all of these retainer rings out of here. And it's going to be hard to see them. I'll pop one out and show you what they look like. Flat screwdriver, like so. Almost, not quite. One more should do it. Yep, that got it. Okay, now we want to get all four of these out. They're usually not too bad. I wish I could get a camera in there, but if you try this, you'll see. It's not bad. You just dig them out of there. Okay, we're going to do this first one in the vise. Did it this way for years and years and years. So, see? Starting to move. There we go. Now, I'm gonna have to bash it back through. Just get it started, centered. There he's back to flush. Kind of line it up the best you can. Lovely. Battery died just as this was coming apart. But hopefully you picked up how to do it in a vise. Okay, guys, we used the bash and smash to get them out, which is honestly sometimes it's easier than using the press. Just smash them out. You're not going to hurt these unless you really mess up. But I've always found it's easier to get them out with a hammer. Now, putting them in, that's a different story. If you go smashing them in, You can warp them. You can have needles fall over inside. I like pressing them back together. So what we're going to do here, we've got this guy. I take the tape off. And there's lots of grease in there from the factory. I already checked. I'm not going to do this with one hand because it's going to turn out badly. There, take these. Take this tape off. Now we'll get you guys up here. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 of the caps off. Get one of these guys in here. See, there's lots of grease in there from the factory. We're going to start that one in there. This camera's such a pain. Okay, we're going to put this like so. In there, like so. And we're going to get our cap. And go like so. Now we're going to slowly put a bit of pressure on this. Nice and square. Make sure the whole time that it keeps moving. Oh, we're still moving. There, we haven't folded any bearings over. Now, see, we're getting close here at the bottom. We're going to grab one of our retaining rings. And this one's going first. The top one seems to be a little harder. So, well, or it was. Either way. Not quite, not quite. A little bit more. Not quite, almost. There. And I think we pushed the bottom one too far, but that's okay. We're going to get our top one in there. Hang on a second. There. Just clamp that ring into there. Let's get the other one. And same thing. little bit more. Okay, we're gonna let's tap that in there. There. That is in there fully. All right, now what we're going to do, there's a cavity down behind that bearing, between the bearing and the seal, and a little bit of one over here. We're going to completely fill that with grease. How I can do that, and you guys can still see it. Got it around the inside, and we're gonna mash that in there. Just completely fill that void. Fill it right up. Just like so. Completely filled. We're going to give this side a little bit more. Just mash it right in there. There we go. There, that void is completely filled. Now, one side's smaller, one side's bigger. It goes like so. And there we have it. And there's plenty of grease on that seal. All right. I'm gonna clean up and we can start putting things back together. Okay guys, we're back and it's the next day. I got a little sidetracked, but here's where we're at. We got our universals together and this guy's together. Now something I forgot to mention is I'm going to cut a slit in this one. This is the rear yoke. There's a lot of play in these, as you'll see when I put it back together, but if you cut a slit in these, when you tighten this bolt up, it clamps the shaft and it gets rid of that wobble. So less wobble in a drive shaft is a very good thing. So I'm going to attempt to put you guys in harm's way here. That looks pretty good. Now we've got our grinder with a zip cut blade. Thin cut. And we've got our safety glasses. Safety first. And what we're going to do is run down here and put a slit in it. All right. we didn't hit the bottom, so everything is good. All right. Okay, guys, we got her cut. Now when I put the bolt in there, that's going to squeeze that. No more slop. So, we are ready for reassembly. So the first thing is the front one has to go back in, and we have to get the shaft back in there. And come back to the back, push the shaft forward, and get our other pieces in. So, I'm going to get everything rounded up and let's get this going. Okay, here we are at the front, guys. Now, just reverse the disassembly. First of all, I'm going to put it on the front, which is no problem. The shaft's right there. Then I'm going to pick up the drive shaft and bring it forward to attempt to hook it onto there. And once that's on, shove everything towards the front, which sounds easy. Might be. Now, one thing I did forget to mention is splines and grease. Grease these splines real good. You know, if they're dry and they rub together, they are going to wear eventually. And they were very, very dry when I pulled them out. So, yeah, this is going to be an impossibility to film this and do it at the same time. So I'm just going to do it, then we'll come back and take a look at it. All right, here we go, guys. That actually went amazingly easy. I put it on the front first, like I said, picked up the shaft, stuck it on the back there, and just reefed it pretty hard. And the seal slid most of the way up. And it'll finish sliding when I'm at the back end here, shoving the whole thing forward. So, awesome. We're just going to leave that hatch open for now. You never know. But, yeah, that went pretty easy. So, I'm going to gather up the stuff, get underneath, and, yeah, we're almost there. Well, we are back, guys. And all we're going to do is reverse how we took everything out. So, it came out of the transmission first to the shaft. We took the shaft out, and then we took the yoke out that went from the shaft to the drive shaft. So we're going to do that backwards. Hopefully, I'm guessing you guys can see that. All right, so backwards would be yoke first, and everything's greased. There we go. Now we push that all the way in. Now, our new shaft and bearing, right beside it. Bingo. Now, let's see how this works. I hope you guys can see this. There. And it goes. Just like that. Get a bearing around. There. Okay. Now everything has to come back. Okay guys, there was some wiggling involved there. You got to make a whole bunch of things line up at the same time. And I accidentally pulled the drive shaft back a little too far and it popped off at the front. So I had to go reattach that. Now we should be in pretty good shape. We will see. There, I got this bolt in, the yoke. Now, this guy, let's see where he wants to find a home. Right there. Ha! Yeah, it takes a bit of moving everything around, but our bearing's ready to be bolted. The 2 yoke bolts, everything's getting blue Loctite. So I'm gonna get the bolts in and see this here. This has lots of wiggle. Hopefully you can pick that up. Now I'm gonna Loctite and tighten everything, and we'll come back and I'll show you the difference. And we got it, guys. That's it went pretty good. You have to wiggle and jiggle a lot of stuff. You got to get the shaft in the right spot. You got to get the yokes in the right spot, all the while having the drive shaft in the right spot and not popping it out at the front. It's honestly, it's better if you got 2 people. One guy could hold this while you move the yokes. I don't know, but we got it. Now, the slit I put in here, this is tightened down. No wobble at all. That's, you can't move it. Nice and solid. So, the skid plate's next. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a separate video. So, yeah, we are done here. And there it is, guys. It's done. It's in. 2 new universals, upgraded carrier bearing. It's not that bad till the end. Another set of hands would have been handy, but you can pull it off by yourself. It's just a lot of maneuvering, get everything just perfect. So this bad boy should be good for a while now. Yeah, the old guy here, the seal's blown right out of it. He's pretty crunchy. I don't know if you can hear that, but it was time. Now, this is probably going to turn into a decent sized video, so I'm going to do the skid plate next. Separate video, be sure to tune in for that one. We're getting there, and the next video, I believe, is the clutches. That should be fun. Got some JBS action coming in. Little controversial. Everybody with the primary spring, take it out, leave it in. We're not afraid of a little controversy here. We'll dig into that and some other mods that James told me about in the actual clutch casing. We'll get to that. But for now, we're done this. If you need to do it, try it. It's not that bad. And we're going to get on to the next one. So smash that subscribe, and we'll see ya.